Charming and affordable vintage farmhouse cottage ideas on a budget. Welcome to the channel, friends. If you're dreaming of turning your home into a charming vintage farmhouse cottage, but don't want to spend a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, I'm going to show you affordable and easy-to-implement ideas that will give your space that timeless, rustic charm without breaking the bank. From cozy living rooms to vintage-inspired kitchens, I've got the perfect budget-friendly tips to help you create a welcoming, vintage farmhouse feel no matter the size of your space. Whether you're looking to DIY some farmhouse furniture or add shabby chic touches, these ideas are simple, affordable, and will transform any room into the perfect vintage escape. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button if you love a good farmhouse makeover. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell for more budget-friendly home decor inspiration. Now, let's get started and transform your space with these charming and affordable vintage farmhouse cottage ideas on a budget. Cozy vintage farmhouse cottage living room ideas. Your living room is the heart of your home, and with a few vintage touches, you can make it a cozy, inviting space without breaking the bank. Start with distressed armchairs and antique coffee tables, which you can find at local thrift stores or online marketplaces. Don't be afraid to add affordable throw pillows and blankets in soft, farmhouse-style patterns, such as florals or gingham, to complete the look. For a personal touch, create DIY wooden shelves for displaying books and vintage decor pieces. Lastly, consider framing botanical prints or vintage mirrors to bring warmth and charm to the walls. These small updates can bring a timeless farmhouse feel to your space without much effort. A cream-tufted sofa adorned with textured pillows sits gracefully alongside a wicker armchair, all warmed by vintage paintings on the wall. A rustic wooden cabinet filled with books and glassware adds charm, while dried foliage in a ceramic vase brings natural elegance. Patterned rugs and soft hues complete this inviting countryside-inspired retreat. Rustic and inviting vintage farmhouse cottage kitchen ideas. The kitchen is the perfect place to infuse vintage charm with minimal investment. Start by opting for a rustic farmhouse sink, a classic feature that's both functional and beautiful. To add character without replacing your entire cabinetry, consider a simple DIY project to whitewash or distress existing wood to give it an antique look. Displaying mason jars, vintage teacups, and old cutting boards as decorative accents can add charm and functionality. Open shelving is another affordable way to showcase vintage dishware or homemade pottery, creating a homely and welcoming atmosphere. With a few well-chosen details, you'll have a rustic kitchen that feels like it's been passed down through generations. A cozy culinary retreat features warm wooden accents and crisp white cabinetry, showcasing open shelves adorned with pottery and charming decor. A rustic dining table invites gatherings, while sunlight streams through the large window, highlighting the exposed beams and harmonious textures. This timeless space blends natural elegance with countryside charm. Charming vintage farmhouse cottage bedroom ideas. Your bedroom is a sanctuary, and it should feel cozy and timeless. Achieve a vintage farmhouse look with affordable DIY projects like building a bed frame from reclaimed wood or upcycling old furniture. Soft pastel colors, floral linens, and vintage pillows are easy ways to introduce shabby chic elements into your space. Create a cozy reading nook by pairing a comfy chair with a hand-me-down table and a vintage lamp. With the right textiles and a few small touches, like vintage picture frames and rustic mirrors, your bedroom will feel like a peaceful retreat. These budget-friendly upgrades will help you create a relaxing, vintage-inspired space that feels both new and nostalgic. A serene haven, this bedroom features a wooden frame adorned with layered linens in soft beige and white tones. Greenery and potted plants adds a fresh charm, while a vintage trunk at the foot of the bed complements the rustic furniture. Sunlight streams through large windows, illuminating antique artwork and timeless decor for a cozy, countryside retreat. DIY vintage farmhouse cottage bathroom decor. Even small spaces like bathrooms can be transformed into vintage havens. Start by repurposing an old dresser or vanity for extra storage and a shabby chic touch. You can also find vintage mirrors or sconces at thrift stores to add character to your space. For a budget-friendly farmhouse look, consider hanging a towel rack made from a rustic piece of wood or repurposed items, like an old ladder. Affordable vintage shower curtains and bath mats in muted tones or floral patterns will pull everything together and create a serene, farmhouse-inspired retreat. These simple ideas can turn your bathroom into a charming space on a budget. A rustic vanity features a weathered wood countertop paired with a white ceramic basin and antique brass fixtures. Rolled towels sit neatly beside a wicker basket holding a vase of greenery, while a potted plant adds a fresh touch. A distressed mirror completes this cozy space, blending nostalgic charm with natural elegance. Budget-friendly vintage farmhouse cottage dining room ideas. You don't need to spend a lot to create a beautiful dining area with vintage farmhouse charm. Start by mixing vintage chairs with a basic wooden dining table to create an eclectic yet charming look. Add a homemade table runner or placemats and soft floral or linen fabric to enhance the farmhouse aesthetic. Displaying vintage china or old pitchers as table centerpieces brings an additional vintage appeal, while wooden crates and rustic baskets are perfect for both storage and decor. These affordable ideas can help you create a welcoming, cozy dining area for family meals and gatherings. A rustic dining space features a wooden table with cozy cushioned chairs, complemented by floral centerpieces in a grand vase. Vintage accents like a wall clock and framed mirrors add charm, while the warm glow of candles creates a welcoming ambience. Thoughtful details and soft tones craft an elegant yet affordable retreat. Vintage farmhouse cottage decor for small spaces. Small spaces can still have big impact. You can easily introduce vintage farmhouse charm into a compact room by using upcycled furniture, like turning wooden pallets into a rustic coffee table or bookshelf. A mismatched collection of vintage lamps, antique books, and vintage wall decor can help fill the space with character and style. Opt for soft textiles like quilts, throws, and vintage pillows that add comfort without overwhelming the space. A cozy, budget-friendly reading nook or corner can be created with a comfy chair, a soft rug, and a few well-chosen vintage accessories. These simple additions will help you create a vintage-inspired oasis, no matter how small your space is. Charming shelves showcase rustic kitchenware, brimming with jars and bowls against a cozy wooden backdrop. A warm wooden table with mismatched chairs adds character, while potted greenery and antique accents infuse nostalgic charm. A large window floods the space with light, blending timeless elegance with functional serenity for a perfect countryside retreat. Affordable vintage farmhouse cottage outdoor decor ideas. Your outdoor space can be just as cozy and charming as your indoor spaces with a few simple vintage touches. Repurpose old furniture, such as vintage chairs or benches, to create a rustic outdoor seating area. Use recycled materials to make unique planters or garden accessories, like turning old crates or wheelbarrows into flower beds. String lights and vintage lanterns can create an enchanting atmosphere for evening relaxation. Adding repurposed wooden doors or shutters as wall art or fences will give your outdoor space a touch of rustic charm. With just a few vintage-inspired details, your garden or porch will feel like a farmhouse retreat. A rustic outdoor nook features a weathered wooden table paired with mismatched chairs for a relaxed countryside charm. Overflowing planters and suspended baskets bring vibrant greenery, while nostalgic signs and lanterns enhance the welcoming ambience. The soft hues of worn white walls and scattered golden leaves complete this budget-friendly, cozy retreat. Vintage farmhouse cottage lighting ideas on a budget. Lighting is key to creating the right ambience in a vintage farmhouse cottage. Look for affordable vintage-style lighting fixtures such as pendant lights or chandeliers, which can often be found at thrift stores or online marketplaces. You can also get creative with DIY lighting projects, like creating your own vintage-inspired light fixtures with recycled materials or old mason jars. Budget-friendly vintage sconces and lamps can be scattered throughout the space, providing a soft, warm glow. With a little ingenuity and a few simple pieces, you can create a beautifully lit space that perfectly complements the vintage farmhouse feel. Rustic beams support warm antique-style fixtures, casting a soft glow over the cozy kitchen. Eclectic accents like mason jars and metal lanterns complement the inviting space, blending practicality with charm. Simple yet timeless, this budget-friendly setup captures the essence of countryside elegance and nostalgic cottage appeal. Charming vintage farmhouse cottage entryway ideas. First impressions matter, and your entryway is the perfect place to showcase vintage farmhouse style. Start with a wooden console table, which you can easily find secondhand or upcycle yourself. Add a vintage mirror to create a sense of space and light, or hang a DIY wreath for a touch of charm. Repurpose wooden pallets or old hooks to create a rustic coat rack for the entryway, and fill vintage baskets with everyday essentials. These simple, budget-friendly additions will make your entryway both functional and full of character. A cozy entrance features a weathered bench with practical drawers, topped with a patterned cushion for a touch of warmth. A rustic green cabinet holds everyday essentials, framed by soft boots and potted greenery. Illuminated by streaming light, the space combines vintage accents, natural textures, and inviting charm. The intricate rug ties the look together beautifully. Creative vintage farmhouse cottage wall decor ideas. Walls are a blank canvas waiting for some vintage farmhouse flair. Consider creating affordable wall art by framing old postcards or vintage postcards found at thrift stores. You can even create your own farmhouse-style art by painting old windows or doors, or upcycling old wooden planks into rustic signs. Small vintage photo walls can be created using inexpensive frames for a personalized touch that feels both welcoming and nostalgic. These budget-friendly options allow you to fill your walls with character and charm while sticking to your budget. Weathered crates transform into charming shelves, brimming with nostalgic treasures, potted plants, aged books, and glimmering brass candlesticks. Framed photographs add warmth, while the rustic wooden backdrop and eclectic textures complete this inviting space, showcasing countryside elegance with a timeless cottage charm.